Welcome to Subramani. Today I'm going to talk to you about some investment myths. You could call them brilliant, or you could call them they're so well into our brain that we may not even consider them as myths. So let us look at some of them. Whether we want to break them is something which you have to decide. And so I would not call this a myth, but I would call this the greatest instruction ever given to an investor is buy low and sell high. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But tell me how many times have you done this, and how many times do you think it is possible? It seems very simple, it seems perfectly all right, and suppose you buy a share today at whatever price. Let's say you buy Indigo today at 1150 and it reaches a high of 3000 in 2-3 years time. Would you have bought it at 1150 and sold it at 3000? Extremely doubtful. Very likely that you would have bought it at 1150 and sold it at 1250, saying, oh, I do not know, times are uncertain, so let me book my profits. And you would have again then forgotten, saying, oh, I made 100 rupees and I moved on, right? So that's what you will do. So buy low and sell dear is very good advice, but it is almost impossible to achieve. What actually you can do is buy at various prices and sell at various prices. So let us say you bought an EID Parry at 110, 120, 130 and watched it go to 300. So you bought it 110, 120, 130 and you sold it at maybe 230, 240 and 250. That's it. You had some goals to achieve, or you thought that there was a good enough price hike, saying in 3-4 months if I can make this kind of money thanks to the pandemic, let me book my profits. It doesn't matter. So you will how I would interpret this for you is to say buy in the low ranges and sell in the high ranges. The range is the only thing which any decent research guy will be able to give you. He will not be able to give you the bottom price and the top price. Don't aim for the bottom price and the top price. Buy in the bottom range, sell in the higher range or the highest range or whatever range you want to keep. A, because you have achieved your target, or because B, you think you have to take some money from the table and put it into some what I see people doing is putting it into a pension fund or putting it into an ultra short bond fund, so that end of the year you know how much of trading profits you booked by just looking at the ultra short bond fund account, right? So decide what you want to do, but it is not necessary that you will always be able to buy low and sell high. If you are looking for a specific price at which to buy and a specific price at which to sell, and you think it will be the bottom and the top, you're completely mistaken. It just cannot happen, right? The second one you hear is no risk, no reward. You hear this in the gym and you hear this in the wealth thing, that if you don't take risk, you will not get reward. That is partially true, that the people who got the reward are the people who took the risk. But what this does not tell you is those people who took the risk but did not get the reward, who were just finished in the waiting time, or they took wrong risk and they slipped and fell, whatever be the reason. So risk taking does not always lead to reward. And also, when you think it is risk-free return, look at these jokers who put money in Anugrah stockbroking. They thought they could have some equity shares and mutual funds, and all they had to do is put it into a pool account of the broker, and the broker would give them 1% interest per month. Awesome. Madoff, right? This is exactly what Madoff said to people, that this is what I will do and this is the return that you will get, which means your money was being used as margin for somebody else to do an FNO trade, and when that guy lost money, your margins got wiped out. It's as simple as that. You got used, right? And such offers are not very uncommon. There will be some broker who will come to you and say, sir, you have a very good practice. Why don't you buy a car and give it to my friend on lease? You will get the depreciation, that's what you want, and he will pay the weekly rents to you in cash. Wow, fantastic, win-win situation. Many doctors fall for it. If a person can't get a loan from ICICI or HDFC, there is a reason why he can't get a loan. Now don't suddenly try to become the banker because you want the depreciation. So I know a doctor who bought an Innova, gave it to a driver crashed it, driver ran away, became a police case. Luckily there was no death, but everything in the car got stolen. We don't even know whether the driver was involved, so driver just vanished, right? So this fellow had his license copy, which turned out to be fake. That's it, end of story, right? So be careful, no risk, no reward, but you have to also understand that risk taking always does not give you reward. Sometimes it can pull the floor under which you are standing. That leads us to the next one. Buy land. Prices can never come down. After all, God stopped making them. It's too stupid a theory, so I will not talk about it much. Then the other great one. Have greed when others have fear, and have fear when others have greed. How are you supposed to know whether others are being greedy or others are being fearful? It's a brilliant thing to say. Now suppose you go back in time, go back to maybe 2002, 2003. You invested when the index was 3000, you were very lucky. Then you saw the index go to 6000. Should you sell? Should you buy? I mean, everybody would tell you, okay, don't be more greedy, 3000 ka 6000 ho gaya, bech do. And others would be fearful to enter the market. I remember the television show which included Shankar Sharma and Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. Shankar Sharma was a much bigger man those days, so he was sure that the market will go from 9,000 to 6,000, right? Market went from 9,000 back to 21,000. So these things will happen. People will say what can happen and what will happen. You don't know when to be fearful and when to be greedy. So this is not very useful in the sense that unless you know, you have fantastic guidance, you don't really know. This sounds good. Have greed when others have fear. Sounds good, but you never know whether that is the best time to be greedy or best time to be. So what you can look at is to say, be less greedy when others are greedy, be less fearful when others are fearful, rather than saying do the contrarian thing. It's tough. At least I have found it very tough. Thank you.